this the sport that I will be doing my second video on is baseball, and it is actually the same drill from the first video. It is a bullpen, but the catchers are catching the bullpen. And as before, both athletes knew they were being filmed and consented for it being used as an instructional video. And the the human movement in this is squatting, use of the shoulders and upper body to throw and return the ball, and the hands and the arms to catch. Oh my god, okay, moving on. So you see here in, well, I gotta start the video first. Okay, you saw in that first catcher on the right stance, he has a more unorthodox stance, but is becoming more common where the catcher on the right here, will actually kind of jut his knee out and put it kind of close to the ground, while the catcher on the left keeps a more traditional stance where he's just in a squat. There is not too much difference between the two stance. So, in the stance on the left, you're more stacked and more agile to deal with a stealing runner. I would recommend this for a catcher that is catching a pitcher who is more accurate and is known to be less wild, while the stance on the right gives the catcher more room to block wild pitches and be more agile with an incoming pitch. And if a catcher is not very agile or limber in this position, it can be harder for him to react to a stealing base runner. And as you see here, the catcher reacts very quickly. He catches the ball wherever it may be, and then in a split second, he moves it either somewhere in the strike zone or to a better location. Like if it's an outside pitch, he moves it to right there on the corner. That is called framing, and our catchers are quite good at it and are very skilled at it. And there's a couple, well, it's kind of hard to show you from this angle, but there are a couple pitches where they're actually dealing with breaking balls, and they are actually reacting to the breaking ball and framing said ball. And that was a wild pitch that was attempted to be picked, because sometimes the pitch is so wild that you can't exactly block it, where it's when a catcher drops to the ground and tries to make his body as big as possible so that the ball will either bounce off of his glove or his body and not get by him, possibly letting in a run. And he didn't have time for that there, so sometimes you have to pick. The purpose of this drill is the same as pitchers throwing bullpens, is to fine-tune their skills and just work on whatever they feel they need to work on that day, or just get better for in-game scenarios. The feedbacks that I would give these athletes would be whatever it is that they're trying to work on. I would ask them how they felt about how they did that day working on it, and if they feel that they could do it any better, then how would they approach that and try to succeed at bettering it the next bullpen or next game scenario. And this skill translates into baseball or in a real game situation by just overall practice. It leads to increased chance of success and better in-game outcomes.